Hey guys, welcome back. We're not in the utility room where my layout is. We're out in the main basement, and today we're reviewing something a little bigger than usual. We're doing a large scale review on a Bachmann 260 locomotive, also known as 1/20th scale or large scale. This is a Grizzly Flats, Emma, Nevada. Now this MSRP is for $1,250, but don't let that scare you because there's some deep discounts, dealer discounts out there online that can be upwards of almost half off in some cases. So you can get some really good deals on this large scale locomotive. And we also are going to be taking a look at the coaches that kind of come with it. This is a Grizzly Flats coach, and those MSRP for around $130, but again, you can get them for excellent prices. So let's take a look at what you get in this G-scale locomotive starting right now. So the kids pretty much take over the basement. It's their realm. I'm going to borrow it, and we're going to unbox this large scale locomotive here for the first time, right on film. See what you get in the box. And to use the gravitational method, as I like to call it, where just let things naturally slide out here instead of trying to destroy the box. And we'll take a look at those components. So like you get a toolbox, coupler probably for the front, crew member with a shovel, another crew member in the seated position, and a plug here, a harness, wiring harness or plug. And you can upgrade to your DCC system of choice, or you can run it on DC. It's really your call. Take a look at some literature here. You've got Spectrum catalog. It looks like you have warranty cards, warranty information, 260 manual, I should say, not a catalog, but there's a manual. Nice work there. Talks about lubricating the valve gear, operation of valve gear, linkage, smoke box switches, etc. There's a plug-and-play socket as well where you can put anything you want in there. And there's even more information, including general maintenance and service. And then you get a Friends of Emma, Nevada flyer, because this is an actual locomotive at the Southern California Railway Museum. Looks like a nice postcard there. So now I gotta break this tape and we will open this up next. Alright, so everything's loosely opened up here, and we can reveal the locomotive. Do a quick unboxing. Have a piece that goes in between the tender there, and the tender comes out with another fit piece at the end, along with quite a bit of protection. Plastic and paper sleeves everywhere. There you have it, coal load and rear coupler installed as I suspected. That means that other coupler is either the front or an optional one. We'll go over the details, but it's got chain, truck chain detail, which is very nice. We'll get into that after unboxing, of course. Don't want to hold this up much longer for a review that may already be a bit lengthy. So, got another piece here. Trying to find a way to get a hold of. And there we go. So that just plugs right into the front to hold the number board in place. And have a piece that plugs into the cab. And extra paper to protect the top of the locomotive. And looks like we lost a smokestack, but it simply press fits on, not a big deal. like so. That's how the smokestack is supposed to be there, along with, you got the front, you have protection over the headlight. Lots of packaging on this guy. Alright, it's all unboxed. You see the process there. I like to do unboxing so everybody sees what they get from the box. We can move along to looking at some detail. Alright, I've got a little additional light on this because it's a little dark down here, but we're going to take a look. You have the smokestack up front with rivet detail along the top. This is a smoke-equipped locomotive. You have the smoke box door headlight, that's an LED light there. Smoke box door opens up and you have control for both lights and smoke. Like I said, it comes with smoke fluid, so it is smoke equipped. Bracing, and you've got a pilot, or if you'd like to call it a cow catcher, that's fine as well, along with parts that move like this. So that snaps on and off. You've got all the side rod and driver detail. You have star formations on the actual drivers. You have a nice colored boiler here, and you've got the safety tread with the stamped metal plating. So you've got the bell and the sanding dome and the boiler dome, and this nice gold accented area here. You've got the builder's plate right there. So really nicely detailed. I do like the safety tread and how it's actually stamped to be what the real metal walkways look like with that pattern. And it's also back here on the deck plate that moves up and down, but there's that pattern back there as well. Then it transitions to wood, and you've got the coal load, you've got brake wheels, you've got separately applied grab irons, and you have an interior cab detail, boiler backhead, a little hard to tell there. And then you can install your figures. And if you look closely, you'll even see the lever and all the knobs and everything inside. Windows open, and you've even got the little armrest pad for the crew. So very nicely detailed. There's the lever in there, all the detail. Very, very hard to see with this larger camera. Can't really squeeze it in there. Need a little pipe camera type deal, but there you have it. Now going to the tender, you've got truck chain detail on the tender, Grizzly Flats Railroad on the side, rivet detail. You've got a water hatch back here. You've got wooden deck plate, rear coupler installed, and then the brake wheel, like I said, is positioned here. So very, very nicely detailed locomotive. Even have the bell string that runs, and it actually is connected to the bell here. Bell could pivot a little bit. It's a metallic bell, and the bell string runs into the cab. So they really do nice detail on these G-scale locomotives, and they put a lot of effort into it. Now let's check to see how it runs. Well, I learned on the first run-by attempt that my curves are too tight, so I'll have to put the radius on video of what this will handle, but it definitely isn't my curves with my G-scale layout. So we're going to go ahead and move this forward very slowly so you can see the speed control. I'm using just a DC power pack and trying to get a speed where it will actually smooth out. That's probably about it right there. Very hard in DC to control. It's a very quiet motor the way it is right now. We'll go ahead and check reverse while we're at it, because motors can get noisier in reverse than in forward. Finally got a slow speed where it's still moving along fairly well. Gives you another look at the locomotive as it passes by. Hardly any sound at all coming out of this nice quality Bachmann steam locomotive. Alright, I've got the track power juiced up, and we're taking a look at the two coaches now. Got the brake wheel back here, you have separately applied grab irons and a door with windows up top. You have a wood deck plating here, or wood grain deck I should say. Stairs. You have these type of couplers, the knuckle couplers, and the other types included in the box. Let me find them here. These couplers as well, along with a small manual in there. Then you have this nice interior detail. You've even got a heat stove, or stove that provides heat, or whatever you want to call it, a heat furnace type deal in there. I'm really bad about the old time lingo. The upper windows are shine through, opaque, so you can see through those and all the interior detail. Molded interior with seats. Brake wheel on this end. I went ahead and coupled these together to show you the coupling distance. Just to give you a reference, you can get about 3 fingers in there, 3 normal sized fingers. And again, more of the same on this other car as well. The difference is one is a railway post office car, the other one is a passenger car, I believe. So I was just kind of showing you some underbody detail there, some truck detail. The trucks is where the power is picked up, so that's how you have these little metal contacts that touch the wheels that actually go to the truck. So you've got this nice deck plating on the side. It's like a post office car, I believe. There's interior detail and another, heating stove inside. You've got ornate details along the side, and then grizzly flats. Like I mentioned, opaque upper windows. A textured roof, as you can see there. And there's the kind of the railway post office door that slides open or whatever. And there's a slight noise because of the metal contacting the wheels, but here's the noise as the cars roll by. I'm going to attempt to put the Grizzly Flats locomotive and run these cars by, but I have a very short distance since I don't have the curvature I need, the radius I need to do so. One other thing, if you look inside there, you see the partition with an decorated door, I guess you should say, with wooden panels. So really nice interior detail on these cars. Again, MSRP $130 each for those, but you can get them for well below that. This is car number 5 and number 3 in the Grizzly Flats railroad scheme, and these are the only 2, I believe, that come in the Grizzly Flats railroad scheme. Alright, you guys know me. I like testing basically claims of the manufacturers to see if things work. And one of the claims on Bachmann's website is that there's a flickering firebox glow. And I said, oh, wait a minute, Bachmann, I did not see that. It's supposed to be load varying, so I cranked it all the way up and held it back from going, and I saw no light. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, I looked inside, and what do you have? A miniature firebox door that you have to open up, and then watch this. Amazing, and very nicely done too. It actually looks like there's coals in there on fire. So it looks like fire to me. I'm not even kidding you guys right now. Looking at it directly on, it looks like fire to me. So very cool features. The firebox door even had a latch on it that you had to release to open it up, and I used a screwdriver to assist me with that. Just unprecedented detail on these G-scale locomotives. Speaking of lighting, here's what the LED headlight looks like. It's got a little bit of a golden tint to it, but I would call it almost flat white. Looks more white in my viewfinder of the camera than it does in person. In person, it does have just a slight tint of yellowish glow that looks correct to me. Well, folks, here you have it. Grizzly Flats locomotive and 2 passenger cars. Unfortunately, cannot make a run-by happen. Tried to get some larger radius track, and it has to be ordered online. Nobody local has it. So this is what we're going to have to deal with for now, but I hope you enjoyed seeing the locomotive and the cars together, and I'll leave you with some final thoughts. Well guys, let's be up close and personal selfie style to wrap this review up. Most importantly of this review, I am not a Raiders fan. It's just a giant t-shirt that I like to wear when bumming around the house. It's late in the evening here, and I was really quite impressed with this locomotive, even though I was kind of in a crabby mood when I went to review the locomotive. One bummer is that I don't have the correct radius, but it says right there on the Bachmann website a minimum of 5-foot radius is best for operation. I don't have that. I've got like 3 foot, if that, or whatever. I'm not very familiar with G-scale radiuses, but it's definitely not 5 feet. So unfortunately, I don't have the radius to operate this. It's a long locomotive. The tender probably could navigate smaller by itself, but definitely not the locomotive. Overall, let's talk about the locomotive and then the cars real quick. Locomotive is very impressive. I like the headlight appearance. I was absolutely amazed with the firebox glow because I thought I had Bachmann on kind of a technicality, saying that the firebox glows and it doesn't, but you know, that's what it's about in these reviews, is testing things out. And then the realistic coal load, the fact that there's a speaker already installed and you can basically plug and play a DCC soundboard in there for use. The nice deck plating, all the detail, the truck chains on the tender. I mean, it just really is an impressive locomotive. Now, the cars are also impressive. I like the interior detail. No real dings on the cars. The little slight noise because of the metal contact to have the interior detail, but other than that, nothing really to complain about on the cars. The interior is all one color. You could open those things up and hand paint them if you wanted to make them, you know, little individual bench colors or wooden colors or whatever. But other than that, there's not much to say about the cars that's negative. Tire set's very cool. It's especially interesting since this is an actual locomotive that I believe is running or will be running soon. They're working on restoring it, or it's restored, I can't remember. But I always like the excursion locomotives and the real saved locomotives throughout the country, so it's very interesting to see this model. So I hope you enjoyed on your G-scale layout, and if you have any questions, as usual, let me know. I apologize I couldn't do a run-by, but lessons learned for next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.